Hey Collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. Today we are going to do a reading around something that brings you great comfort. And I was actually called to pull in a couple of stones here to talk to you about that can help you, assist you with that. So this is the one that I use to clear my cards. This is selenite. So this can bring you great comfort, but it's also a very good clearing stone. And then these two are moonstone. So I have in this hand a rainbow moonstone, and then this one is a black moonstone. So what I really like about these, they have feminine energy. They're very calming, soft, loving crystals. I love using these at the end of the night, right before I'm about to go to bed. I put one in each hand just like this and just start to meditate. And it helps put my mind at ease, my body, my spirit. It helps to just kind of calm me down at the end of the day, right before sleep, so that I can get a restful sleep. And again, these are great crystals just to help you chill out, relax. And then I also have, this one is called amazonite. It is also a very calming crystal. Now, this is also related to your throat chakra. So it brings in truth and communication as well. So if you are struggling to say something, maybe you're getting very nervous before you have to say something, this would be a good crystal to hold on to right before you've got to say something and be brave to say it. Okay, it'll help calm you down as you speak whatever it is that you need to speak. But again, very soft energy. It's beautiful. I love it. And then the last one that I have here, this is called lepidolite, and you'll see that this has sort of little flecks of sparkles in it. That's what I love about this. This is also a very calming crystal. It will help soothe anxiousness. It is great for relaxing and to aid sleep and sleep disorders. So you can keep this one by your bedside. Again, helps aid in relaxing stress, anxiousness, anything along those lines. And it's just a beautiful crystal for that. All right, so that's the one that I normally keep right here. All right, so that's sort of a little introduction of the few crystals that I use on a regular basis, just to help chill out, calm yourself down a little, be able to speak your truth, whatever it is that you're trying to do right now, that maybe you feel that your spirit is just a little too anxious to accomplish it. It could be, again, having issues decompressing at the end of the night. And I just want to say that we all have had experience with that, and it can be difficult to be able to figure out how to decompress, right? All right. So with that being said, that's what today's reading is going to innuendo into. We're going to look into what's going on in the collective right now. How do we need to decompress and to, again, find great comfort in something? So whether it is a soft, warm blanket, whether it is a warm fireplace, like the glowing embers, it could be anything that brings you comfort. Maybe you like weighted blankets. Just laying underneath a weighted blanket brings you great comfort, okay? So that's what we're seeking out here. Let's see where this takes us. All right, Spirit, tell me what we need to know in the collective right now that we're experiencing. Thank you. We have number 7, the Lover. It is safe to surrender to the good feelings. This is Aphrodite, passion, and abundance. Okay, so I very much see a heart chakra activation happening right there. So when we're talking about great comfort, some of us haven't received that before. It can feel like an unfamiliar feeling. And so maybe there is love showing up for you, whether it is your internal self-love or it could be external self-love. So because it's saying that it is safe to surrender to the good feelings, okay? This is telling me that some of us have not felt that we could be safe to surrender previously. So it's almost like something that we're relearning how to do, right? What brings us great comfort? Is it okay to surrender to that great comfort? And how do I do that? Okay, so we're learning how to do that. It's beautiful though. All right, what else do we have? Okay. We have number 10, the Voyager. It's okay to forget and then remember all over again. So this is a return home, lessons, and realizations. All right, I love that. So this is telling me that for many of us, again, what we were talking about here, were that feeling of comfort from love specifically, right, was unfamiliar to us. And maybe when we were born into this world, we felt it as babies and, maybe children, maybe not. But it's like this feeling of love is being reactivated within us. So this is you returning home back to yourself. But it's also bringing with it potentially a mate, like a soulmate. Okay, so as you activate this love within yourself, you are in turn calling home your match. Okay, so this could be a balance of your internal masculine and feminine energy. And as you do that, you're calling in your external divine masculine or feminine. And this is activating within the both of you, if it's the external situation for you, this remembering. Okay, so it's beautiful because as you navigate these waters, it may seem unfamiliar at first, but then you feel that deep, soft, warm comfort of the other, and it is activating something within the both of you. It's like, oh, I remember now. It's such an interesting thing. But it's like realization. So we're like, oh, this is what deep, comfortable love feels like. It felt so foreign to me before, like it was an elusive thing that I just could not grasp. Like I wanted it, I needed it my whole life, but for whatever reason, it just felt to always slip through my fingers and I couldn't figure out how to get it. But here we are remembering what it feels like, what it is, and then just embracing it, surrendering to it. Okay, let's get one more, please. And we have number 9, the Protectress. This is strength, boundaries, and amulet. So it says your energy is valuable, protect it well. Okay, so I'm getting that that's been part of the lessons that we've had to learn here. And what it's telling me is in both situations, okay, your internal and external masculine, feminine energy, we have learned who deserves our energy and who does not. And we're not just going to go give it away anymore for free, per se, or to those who don't respect it, don't reciprocate it. We are now protecting our energy and we're giving it to the people who deserve it because it is valuable. So there was a lot of self-worth lessons happening here. There was a lot of self-love activations happening here. It's just such a beautiful energy. On the bottom of the deck, we have the fairy, which is blessings, flow, and magical energy. So it says, darling, don't you remember you're a badass? Keep winging it. I love that because it's kind of that reminder to us that we do deserve this. We did earn this. And even if we didn't earn this, we're still valuable enough to have this, right? If you did all your work, you are now activating that love vibration and you are feeling it within, you are now understanding that, guess what? I'm the gift. I am the gift, and somebody who comes into my energy is receiving that gift. And you get to decide who is worthy of receiving that gift. I love it. Okay, so let's jump into the tarot and see where we can go from here. Let's come back over to this Lover card. So it's interesting that Aphrodite came out here because I did pull a goddess oracle to use with today's reading. So Aphrodite already came out before I've even used the goddess oracle. So we'll see who else wants to come out. But this might be something that you want to utilize when you are looking for more self-love or even external love in your life. So you may call upon Aphrodite to come into you to help you realize the love. How do I get the love? How do I spread the love? They always say, there's a saying that says, what you want, you must first give away. So are you giving love away in order to receive it? That might be something you can call on Aphrodite to confirm. Okay. So tell me more about this Lover card. Thank you. 3 came right out. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups. Okay. And then the bottom of the deck was the 10 of Wands. So I am getting the feeling that for many of us, we have felt that love was a burden in our life. Like it was something that we just had to endure, rather than appreciate. So this is changing. This is like underlying energy that we're wishing away at this point, because we're like, okay, when you meet somebody, we always say that there's baggage, right? You have to take on that other person's baggage. But the mentality is changing around that, because we're now realizing that while, yes, people do come into relationships with baggage, okay? It is what it is. But rather than saying, I have my own baggage and I have to deal with that burden, and I also have to deal with this other person's baggage and burdens, what we're going to do now is we're going to unpack them together. We're going to open up those suitcases and say, what's your baggage look like? What's my baggage look like? Can we unpack them together and work through them? Okay? So it doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It doesn't feel like something that somebody just has to accept about you. Now we're like, okay, good. You've got that baggage. I'm totally fine with that. I have my own baggage. We're going to deal with it together, right? This is a partnership. So we're going to meet each other and work with each other and have reciprocated energy. Now, we have the 7 of Pentacles, which to me is about having patience. So some of us may have had that feeling, and I know it hit me at about age 25, where you're like, oh no, I'm not married. I'm not even in a relationship right now. What am I doing with my life? They say it happens again at like your midlife crisis. So you almost feel rushed to just accept whatever you can accept. And that is part of our kind of unlearning of stuff, right? Now we have the 7 of Cups. So maybe part of you believed that if by some age you had not accomplished XYZ, right? I haven't had kids yet. I haven't had a marriage yet. I haven't had a house or this wonderful job or whatever it is that you thought you needed by that age. You now have an understanding that there is enough to go around, and that you have plenty of time to accomplish whatever it is that needs to be accomplished, right? So you don't feel that you're losing out on something because you haven't done whatever it is yet. So the good thing is that because it says it's safe to surrender to the good feelings, some of you have also believed that you can just bypass that in an initial relationship. There have been red flags. Maybe we're just going to ignore them, right? Because you're the one that's here in my face right now and wants me, and I'm just going to accept that. It's kind of like the settling energy. But now you're being more choosy. And that's beautiful, because what we're doing now is we're saying, you know what, I'm not just going to accept whatever's in front of me just because it's in front of me. You're looking at yourself going, my energy is valuable. And guess what? I deserve better. So you are being more choosy with who you are spending your time with and sharing burdens with. Relationships are not a burden. They're only a burden if you think they are. And so that's part of the lesson that's been occurring here with relearning what love feels like, right? That soft, warm, comfortable feeling that radiates out of you and is reciprocated by somebody else. All right. Let's move on. So the next pile we have is the Voyager. So this is a return home, lessons and realizations. So some of us have had to go through some hard lessons in relationships. What are you willing to put up with? What are you not willing to put up with? And this does not have to be romantic relationships. Guess what? You have relationships with your parents, with your siblings, with your aunts and uncles, grandparents, cousins, your children if you have any. You know, whoever the relationship is between, you have lessons. You're learning what you are willing to put up with and what you are not willing to put up with. Where do I need to set this boundary in place? Where do I need to say, you know what, my energy is valuable. I'm choosing not to engage in whatever that is, and I'm going to step away right now because I don't deserve to be treated this way, talked to this way, whatever. Okay, so let's get into that a little deeper and see what else we have. The Tower. Okay. I love the Tower being here because, again, it's about lessons. The Tower is occurring in multiple ways. For you, collective, I'm getting that it's a good thing because you're breaking down the things that don't belong in your repertoire, right? This is us learning what we do not want. The Tower moment's also occurring to those other people that have been in our lives that have felt that they could absolutely just step into your energy knowing it's valuable and take from it whenever they want. So when you put your foot down, draw that boundary and say, nope, I don't want you to take my energy anymore because I need it. Self-love, right? That's a Tower moment in their life now. That's a lesson for them. And again, this is not easy. So the fact that it says it's okay to forget and then remember all over again, and it kind of repeats all over again, there's going to be struggles that are going to happen. We may not immediately know who it is that's trying to take our energy, right? And we may not be able to put our foot down immediately. It might be difficult at first, and that's okay. When we fall down, we get up, we try again. That's what this is telling me. I actually had this conversation with somebody just yesterday, and it was somebody who was honestly looking at their friendships in their lives. And I was so happy to have this conversation with them because it made me feel like a proud parent, even though I'm not their mentor or anything. Maybe I am. I showed up in their life. Maybe that's how I showed up. But they said, I had this group of friends, and I thought all of them were good people and whatnot, you know, and I had love for all of them. But there were a couple that like kind of showed their true colors after some time. And I said, oh, okay. So those are the people that want you to believe this masked version of themselves. So they're putting this front on, kind of like the wolf in sheep's clothing. The other way that I associated it with was those depression commercials where the person's holding up a smiley face and the person behind is depressed. That's kind of what antidepressants are. It's like a falsehood of, hey, yeah, I'm happy. But really, those just make you feel nothing. Okay? So we are learning now who has our best interest at heart, who really does want to see us succeed, and who does see our energy as valuable and is willing to reciprocate it rather than just come and take. Okay? So I love that the Tower is here, because to me, it doesn't say for you, collective, that you're going to experience some terrible falling apart in your life. It's more the other people that were coming and just taking from you constantly. Okay? Now, this might show up as these realizations, these epiphanies as to who it was that was in your energy taking from you, that you maybe turned a blind eye towards or ignored red flags about. Okay? Sometimes it can be hard, especially if it's like your family or a longtime friend that you've loved forever, you know? Like, I didn't see how I was being treated, and now I do, and you can't unsee it. Okay, the Six of Cups. Beautiful. And the Knight of Wands. All right. So, Six of Cups is kind of like... So there's a couple things that come up for me here with the Six of Cups. First of all, 6 is balanced energy, right? You have a little boy and girl here playing. So part of this is inner child and finding that cohesiveness, that balance between you and someone else. This could be somebody that you knew in childhood. This could also be just you who plays well with someone else's inner child. Maybe that's what happens is you activate each other's inner child and it makes you feel comfortable, right? It's like a very soothing, comfortable feeling. There's a warmth there. There's a security there. And as you interact, you intermingle with each other, this is what's tearing down the walls. Maybe you had up all these high walls of security for yourself, of defense. And as this softness comes into your life, you're like, okay, this feels good. And I can tear my walls down now. I don't need to have them up so high because I feel like I can trust this knowing. Okay? Now, the Knight of Wands is here. And it's an interesting thing to have in this pile because it can mean a couple things. One is we're no longer accepting this in and out energy. So you may have had people come in your life and breadcrumb you. They're going to come in super passionately, give you all kinds of energy and love or whatever it is, right? And then dip out. And it left you kind of feeling like, whoa, what's going on here? But then they come right back in like, well, hello again. I haven't seen you in a while, but let's have fun or whatever, right? So to me, this is part of you not accepting that anymore. It's, they call it breadcrumbing, which again just means I'm going to give you a little bit, but then I'm going to take it back. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to take it back. It also could just be people who are flaky, right? I'm going to show up and make plans with you. And then tomorrow you never hear from me, or weeks go by, months go by, and then all of a sudden I'm back. Hey, friend, lover, brother, sister, mom, dad, whoever this is like showing up like, yeah, let's put that passion back in. Let's go. And then they dip out again. So you are more interested in this childlike, balanced, reciprocated energy. And you're not falling for this anymore. These might be those people that were wearing masks, right? That wanted you to believe that they're here for you, that they do have your best interest. But when things get really tough in your life, that's a good way to think about this one. Where were they? Did they help you through your very tough times? Did they help you when you really needed them? So this is what's crumbling, okay? It's kind of like the crumbling of the mask. It's falling off. It's leaving you. And you're no longer going to be, what's the saying, turning a blind eye to it. You see it now. It's in your face. You're not going to forget and then remember that these people were not there for you when you needed them. Okay, let's get over to this last one, which is protecting your energy, because it's definitely valuable. So this is about having strength and putting boundaries in place and protecting your energy. The 5 of Cups. All right. That's some sadness there. Is the well, okay, so the sadness is happening on both sides. We'll talk about that in a second. The Queen of Wands. And the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So the 9 of Swords at the bottom. 9 of Swords was at the bottom over here too. So initially when I was looking at this 5 of Cups, I was like, is this you, collective, that's sad over something that's lost? Or is it these people who were all up in your energy taking from it, and now they're sad that they don't have it anymore? It's both. So I want to tell you this because it's important. First of all, let's talk about them losing your energy. You've drawn the boundary. They're super sad now that you're doing just fine on your own and that you don't need them. They're sad. And in fact, they might even be anxious, worried, losing sleep over it, right? But what I want to also talk about is how it can be sad for you, collective, drawing boundaries and cutting people off. I'm not going to say that this is an easy process. It's not. There are going to be times when you have friends that you've been friends with for 20 plus years or however long, and it might be sad to see them go. It might be sad and hard to draw a boundary, to be like, look, I let you get away with something in the past, but I didn't know any better. I didn't know my own worth and my value, and I didn't realize that you were just here to take it from me. It can be really tough to draw that line and to say, I can't let you take from me anymore. And it might make you anxious, worried, whatever's happening here. But here's the thing. Deep down, you already know you got the good stuff. 9 of Pentacles. You are living the life of luxury and you're doing it by yourself. You're like, I don't need these people who have been like suckling from the teat of my energy. I don't know why I went there with it, but hey, that's where I was drawn to go. Queen of Wands. You are moving forward passionately. You are doing all the things that you need to do, whether you're a man or a woman, divine, feminine, masculine, whatever. This is feminine energy. But guess what? Feminine energy that knows what she wants and goes for it. Okay? It's like the Knight of Wands is like in and out, in and out. Queen of Wands is like, nope, I'm here to stay. I'm going passionately towards those things that I desire, and I'm going to make it happen. And guess what? You are getting it. And that's why it could be making other people anxious. And even though you might have to draw the boundaries and find the strength to walk away from some of these people, it's totally okay to be sad about it. Okay? It happens. You might grieve the loss of that person because maybe they were the person that you always talked to about things that were going on in your life. It's not an easy process, okay? On the flip side, though, too, these people may also be sad and try to come back and re-enter your life, okay? This is kind of where the okay to forget and remember all over again comes into play, the lessons, because what might happen is you might give into it. You might have in the past given into it. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll let you get away with it again. Whatever the situation is. And it can be difficult, okay? So just know that you're a rock star and you got this. And you are totally happy on your own. You can do it. And you don't need these people that are kind of leeches, is what I'm getting, to get you through anything. It's not required. All right, let's get into the Goddess Oracle and see what goddesses want to come out. Thank you. We have Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. So she says, love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. I love this. We're going to put her right here. So she's coming in to let you know that we can love everybody unconditionally, and we should. Even if, again, we may have to cut people off and love them from a distance. It's still okay to love people even when they're not in your life anymore. You can have love for them, but you don't need to give them anything. Okay, thank you. I'm getting like the giving is your time, right? Your energy. You can love them from a distance. You could be like, yep, I need to do me right now. All right, so the next one we got is Sarasvati. This is the arts. Express yourself through creative activities. I love that. That's taking me back to the Six of Cups. So something that you enjoyed doing in childhood, maybe it was finger painting, you know. Maybe you liked doing dream catchers or origami. I don't know what you enjoyed as a kid, but something's telling me here that you enjoyed doing something as a kid that's calling you back. So what was it that when you were a kid you had so much fun doing? Making kites, making geometric patterns. Did you draw? Whatever it was that you did as a kid, it's calling you back. Okay, express yourself through creative activities. And as you do this, it's activating something within you. Okay, it's safe to surrender to the good feelings. And I did a reading not too long ago that had to do with something like this, where being creative is not silly or childish. It's okay to work on things that you love doing because it makes you happy. All right, what else do we have? What other goddesses want to jump in? Okay, Coventina, this is purification. It's time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and mind. All right. Again, I just had this conversation yesterday as well. And it had to do with Reiki. So they were asking about Reiki classes, and I was explaining that there are 3 different levels to it. Level 1, level 2, and level 3, which is master. So level 1, if you take a Reiki attunement, it is going to purify your body, okay? So you'll notice that you're not going to be tempted to drink certain things if, you know, it's toxic to your body, or eat certain things, or even do certain things. So the first attunement is a body detoxification, all right? Maybe you want to drink more water than you did previously. The second one is an emotional cleansing. And so that one can take some time. That is you purging any emotional stagnancies that are left in your body. And between the second and the third one, they say that it is a good time to take about a year between the two, because it could take that long to purge your emotional, we're going to say impurities, but I don't want to call it that. We're just going to call it stagnancies, okay? So maybe you have mindsets about how things should look in a relationship, right? So we're going to detox that, and we're going to relearn what is the pure way, what does my authentic self want to experience, right? Not these trauma sunglasses that are put over everything that made me think that because of previous situations I need to feel or do this, right? Or accept less than I deserve. The third step is a spiritual cleanse. So once you hit the master level, you then go through a spiritual cleanse. And the reason that you do this in that order is because that's what our body can handle, okay? The spiritual cleanse is giving you license, basically, to become a clear vessel to then perform Reiki on others and teach others. So I am a master level Reiki practitioner, and I have gone through all three of these purification processes. And if you are more ready than others, these won't take as long of a period of time, right? But you're going to learn really fast. And yes, it is like an accelerated process. What needs to go out of your life? Okay, so first you're going to detox your body, then you're going to detox your emotions, then you're going to detox spiritually. So it's a beautiful process, but it's not for the faint of heart. All right, let's get into some final messages to close this reading out. What do we have to go with all of this information that came out today? Live your life with both feet in. Fully commit to being here. Okay, so this is about living in the now, right? It is about not worrying about the past, not being anxious about the future, but today is everything, right? We wake up every morning and we get to make our choices every day that we wake up, and we could change literally anything about our lives that we are dissatisfied about. You just have to wake up and decide and do. Make sure that whatever you decide, so your thoughts are followed by actions. Make them be intentional and deliberate, okay? And again, it is okay to wake up and not do the thing you said you were going to do, but hopefully you can get back on track the next day, and so on and so forth. It does take, what do they say, 30 days of doing a repetitive action to have it ingrained in your memory and to actually commit to doing it moving forward. So let's just say you're trying to lose weight and you wake up today and you're like, I am not feeling like working out. I am going to eat junk food and I don't want to do it today. Fine, start tomorrow. If you start tomorrow, then you're going to be more motivated to do it the next day and the next day and so on and so on. And especially when you start to see results. So we can talk about it in the sense of cutting people out of your life. Maybe we don't start with everybody all at once, right? Let's take one at a time. Maybe take one vice at a time, right? Are you a smoker? You want to quit? Do you do drugs? You want to quit? Do you drink sugary sodas? You want to quit? Whatever the thing is that you're trying to move on from or fix or change in your life, take it one day at a time. Okay, what else do we have? You have such a bright light inside. Stop dimming it. I love this because that goes with that. Your energy is valuable. Protect it. Everybody else can see this. And I'm getting that some of you have a hard time seeing it. And that's okay, okay? It's kind of it's okay to forget and then remember. Yes, you are the gift collective. Your light shines bright and people are attracted to it. It's not just the good people that want to share it with you, but it's also the moths that can't give you the light back and they just want to suckle from the teat of your brightness. I don't know why I keep using that. Listen to your body and do what it is asking of you. Okay, so for some of you, your body is screaming at you for change. I don't know what the change is because to every one of you, it's going to be something different. So again, we use the example of drinking sugary drinks, not drinking enough water, smoking, eating junk food, whatever it's going on with you and your body is asking you to change something, okay? And you get to decide when you wake up every day what it is you're going to change. Make time to play. Have fun and be free. I love it because we had the 6 of Cups under there. And we also have the arts here. So there is something that your soul wants you to do. Your inner child is like screaming out like, hey, stop being so serious all the time. Your life should not be about wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. Wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. There should be time carved out specifically every day for something that you do that you enjoy doing and that brings you fun and passion. Say goodbye to your past and leave the baggage behind for good. Yep. So again, we talked about getting into a relationship and unpacking together. Once you unpack it together, you kind of learn that the stuff that you've been carrying with you all these years is really not that bad, right? We've all got baggage. Let's unpack it together and leave it. It does not need to keep coming with us from house to house, relationship to relationship. It's kind of like that box that you never unpack, but you just keep moving it from house to house to house. And you're like, what's even in this box anymore? I don't even know, because I just keep taking it and throwing it on a shelf. And then I'm like, okay, next move, I gotta throw this box again on another shelf. It's time to unpack it and to leave it behind. And stop trying to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Yes. So this is about carrying other people's burdens, right? And that might be part of what you've been being asked to do. So remember I said when you get into a relationship, you both come with baggage. And our old mentality may have been, I have to now take on your burdens and your baggage. But that's not necessarily true. While yes, you do take on some of what somebody else brings to the table, it does not necessarily mean that it's your problem. You can acknowledge that they have that going on and that it's part of their baggage, but it doesn't make it your problem too. Okay? So we have to kind of draw that line and say, yep, I understand you have that baggage. I have my own baggage. We're going to work together to get through these baggages, these bags. But it doesn't mean that I have to take on your burdens, okay? And it doesn't have to be in a relationship. It could be friendships, family, whatever. Bottom of the deck, you could use some self-care time, like now. Schedule it in. All right, so that's kind of going along with this purification, okay? Self-care is important, and not enough of us pencil it in for ourselves. So you have to ask yourself, is your time and your energy valuable? If you're not doing self-care, you've got to ask yourself why. And that might be something to journal about. What is it about your life that makes you believe that you don't have time for it? That you don't deserve it? Again, maybe you are pouring all your love into everybody else's cup. And then at the end of the day, you're like, when is it time for me? Okay? You have to make that time. It says here, make time to play, have fun, and be free. Make time. Self-care, you also have to make time. Okay? You first. Put your own life vest on first. Then go save everybody else. If you've got the time. If you've got the resources. If your cup is empty and you're trying to go around saving everybody else, you're really not giving from any place of anything, right? You have an empty cup. What could you possibly give from this empty cup? Yours needs to be full, and then when you give from the excess, the overflow. As long as your cup is full and you have more than enough flowing out, now I can give you with what extra I have. That's how it should work. All right, that is your reading for today. I just want to thank you all so much for showing up today in today's reading. I truly appreciate your time and energy exchange. Again, make sure you fill your own cup up before you fill someone else's. Go within so you never go without. And keep in mind that I'm a beacon of light here to help guide you through the darkness. But you are also a beacon of light. Remember that. All right. I wish you all a lifetime of happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and so much love. Thank you again. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.